go check out the inside look where everything funny that happens that gets cut out, you can find it there. Also, go check out Beezy. Beezy got beats, man, on SoundCloud, and go check out Mike C. Town's YouTube channel.
I'm gonna be releasing the Tans and Distraction instrumentals for free, and with 5 additional beats on there, you pay $434. If you want to get the additional beats, $430. That's the price. And if you want just the actual Tans and Distraction instrumentals, it's free.
That's so clever.
Say the $430.
It's just Mike C. Town. I talk about records. I do concert reviews. I will be doing a day-by-day, play-by-play on my upcoming trip to South by Southwest, so make sure you check that out too. I also have this thing now. It's basically like the Ask that we do here. It's more if people have questions for me in particular, they can send them to my YouTube page, or they can submit them through Tumblr, and I will answer them on camera. It's been doing actually pretty well so far. It actually gets more views than anything else I do. Yeah. The interesting part about that is typically, you know, with these, they're more hip-hop centric, but on my channel, you can ask me anything from movies to metal, clothes, anything you want. So yeah, it's actually going pretty well, and I hope to continue it.
So don't forget to check out everything else Dead End Hip Hop does. We got Dead End Sports live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. to 11 with your boy FIFO, Ken, and BZ, and the host 12 Kyle. Also make sure you go check out BZ's SoundCloud and Mike C. Town's channel. So yeah, man, this CyHi right here, this is dope. This is dope. The first 3 tracks, Huey, Mandela, and Napoleon. I was like, oh my God, this a couple years ago when he was on the freshman list with Kendrick and them, I can't remember. Crit was on that one. I remember we picked, and I said, CyHi's my guy. CyHi's the guy that's gonna make it. He's gonna be this, that, and the third, and he's just been skating on by. The way CyHi started this project is the way that he was supposed to, the way he had to start this project. Mainly because I feel like, you know, Jack of All Trades and his other mixtapes, they were nice, but they didn't slap you in the face. And he came out the gate just slapping people in the face with this. He had to do that. He had to do that. But the first couple of listens, when I first got this, I was just like, damn, he gave me these 3 dope tracks, and then everything just kind of was like, eh. So I just kept listening to those 3 tracks. What I had to do was I had to not listen to those 3 tracks and listen to the rest of the mixtape for it to really hit me like, yo, the rest of this shit is pretty fucking dope too. I have to give a shout out to M16. And almost all of my favorite tracks were produced by this guy. You know, and I've listened to his other stuff. I'm like, I didn't know he was producing music like this. I'm gonna name out some of my favorite tracks. By far, Napoleon, he was just going in. It was punchline after punchline after punchline. I thought he was Mayweather out there, boy. I thought he was died punching in. I was like, damn, like that shit was dope. Barry White was super dope to me, mainly because of how he told the story of the crack epidemic. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's been done a million times, you know, in movies and obviously in music, but CyHi is clever, man. And sometimes it could come off as corny at times, but I didn't feel like he was corny, or he didn't even like really. Sometimes he reaches for his punchlines. I didn't feel like none of that happened. I really felt like this was a really good project. Sadell Young, that's another one. That shit is just a banger, man. By far my favorite CyHi project out of anything I've ever heard. Like, just top to bottom.
Heard a lot about how this was CyHi's best project, and I won't disagree with that. Never really been that high on CyHi, not that he couldn't rap or anything like that. I do like what he did with this project. There was the play on Black history, but I also took it as him telling his story too. And it's almost like this is a rebirth of CyHi, like a reintroduction of him to hip hop, because he's that one guy that's on good music that's just there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking at him and saying, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do next? And you know, in the past he's played off the side of Prince, you know, this old Prince thing, and this was like him doing something different. So, you know, he started out, of course, obviously by comparing himself to Huey Newton and Napoleon Hill and, you know, all these greats, right? Nelson Mandela. And, you know, and they were like, well, you know, that's great and all. You know, these are people that are great. But it's like, what are you going to do to be great? And then he took that, and then in the middle, he was like, well, you know, this is what I'm going to do. You know, these are the things that I aspire to do. And then he kind of closed it out. You know, I'm not going to rap about the same thing that a lot of other people are rapping about. I'm going to Barry White this whole, you know, talking about cocaine and you still enslaved to the white man because you're still enslaved to the white. So a lot of the things that he touched on and his approach to it, I thought were well executed on this tape. I gotta say, man, because you know, it's like you said, first 3 tracks you listen to, is like, especially when you get to Napoleon, you're like, man, this motherfucker, damn, Napoleon is crazy. He was rapping his ass off, and even though it gives a sense of a decline in momentum as it go along, I think the more you listen to it, it's not really that much of a decline because the songs, you know, kind of hold their own the more, you know, as it goes along. And then after Barry White, he went to Is It Me? Like, am I the only one that's noticing all of these trends that people seem to navigate to? Like you said, the production, the way, his use of the beats to tell that story was really great, man. One other thing that I like about CyHi is that he shows love to the city. He went out and got Milo Smith and put her on the project. Marianne Mariwa, and she put her on the project. You know, and even before that, I think on Ivy League, he had K Camp. He put K Camp, who's here in the city, on his project. So, you know, he does show love to artists that are local here, man. It's not like he's so far gone that he's not in touch with what's going on in Atlanta. But a very, very good project by CyHi, man. I like this project a lot.
I enjoyed this project as well. You know, I've been kind of almost like Ken. CyHi's been like hit or miss with me for some reason. Like sometimes I'll be listening to him, I'll be like, man, this dude his potential is great. And then sometimes I listen to him, I'll be like, you know, it's average. He's never been whack or anything like that. So going to this project, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was gonna like it or I was gonna hate it or whatever. But I thought the theme that he was going with, I thought he executed very well. I mean, unlike FIFO, he started off, to me, I thought with three first tracks, Napoleon, Huey, and Nelson Mandela, how they so much energy and he was just like kind of proving himself on there. I was like, wow. Then it went. I like Be Great. Be Great was another one that I thought I liked. A few listens, I was like, you know, these other tracks is good because I like the way how he kind of packaged it together as a theme of the project. And Sato Young, that's actually my favorite joint.
Yes,
he was going in on that joint. After Sato Young, I was like, okay, it could end just like that, and I'd be happy. But overall, I thought this project was really solid, man. I thought, you know, John Connor on February 29th.
Yeah, he killed that.
You know, John Connor, man. I keep telling y'all, man. John Connor. I thought John Connor was one of the good guest features on there. The other guy from Is It Me? Yeah, Tate something.
Tate Drummer.
You know, he remind me of a little bit. Did he sound like Scarface to you a little bit? Like just voice wise?
He did. I didn't know who that was.
I thought it was Scarface.
Yeah, the voice, just the voice. I thought he sounded like Scarface, but he was dope. I was like, man, who is this dude? He was not. He might be from Atlanta or something. Might be a local dude. But yeah, like overall, I really enjoyed this project. I thought this project was nice. I was a little scared because people kept asking us to review it. You know, usually when people hit us on Twitter and ask us to review stuff all the time, I'll be thinking like, man, I'm gonna listen to this shit and I'm gonna hate it. So, you know, and then plus, like I said, CyHi's been hit or miss with me. So it's like, I don't know if this is gonna be a project that I'm really, you know, like by him or be like, it's average. But this is by far the best project I thought that CyHi put out so far. Better than the Jack of all trades, the Ivy League,
Royal Flush.
Yeah.
Royal Flush. What's Dex been missing? I don't know. Have you heard those joints? What the Dex been missing?
That's his first.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Those joints was nice. But anyway, I like the project, man. Go check it out. Download it.
Intro was nice, but then when he went into Huey, I was just like, what? But didn't shit really get real until Mandela? Okay, because here's the thing. When I looked over the track list, and I'm like, okay, I knew the concept, and I'm like, okay, the people that he's trying to compare himself to, I'm like, that's risky.
Yeah.
That's really risky.
He had to go good.
Fuck me, dude. When Mandela came on, that beat, first of all, I was just like, okay, he's gotta rock this. And he came out spit. Oh my God, he was like,
he said so many lines. I can't even.
Yeah,
he said so many lines. I can't even.
To compete with me, you're gonna need a priest to preach, or your sweetest niece to give a hell of a Easter speech. I was like, hold on, hold the fuck on, wait a minute. I wound that shit back, and I'm like, oh my God, this dude is going off. Then when it got to the hook, Mandela, Nelson. It was kind of like, it was
kind of almost like a tribute. I would look at it like a tribute to Mandela. You know what I'm saying? It was like that, if that's a tribute song, that's the perfect tribute song to Mandela right there.
Oh my God, that shit was crazy. Be Great was okay, but I'm gonna tell you my jam, Basquiat. Basquiat was my favorite song on the whole album. Yes, Yes, ask me if I'm a radio. I'm probably not, because I don't do this shit for radio. I do this shit for Basquiat. That shit was stuck in my head the rest of the day. I thought Barry White was really dope too. CyHi is a hell of a wordsmith. You know, and what's really embarrassing is I didn't even catch the Burry White part until I listened to it the second time. And I was like, wow, that's actually pretty clever the way he did that. I can say the only song on this whole mixtape that I didn't really care for was February 29th. And that was mainly because of the beat. I wasn't really that hot on the beat. Of course, John Connor did his thing, and CyHi's verses were nice. But as a whole, the song I don't think really fit. I felt the same way kind of with Coretta, so I take that back. It wasn't the only song I can't say I hated those songs or anything, but I don't think they fit with the rest of the album. Because the album, fuck, I don't care. I'll call it an album because this shit should have been
that's what I was
$9.99 on
iTunes. He should have definitely
album.
sold it.
Because this could have been his debut.
You got Kanye West. You got Kanye West executive producing it. You should have sold this. Like,
I agree.
Hands down.
I agree. This should not have been a free mixtape, CyHi. The thing about this mixtape, it was so varied. Like, he went over so many different types of production, and he fucking killed every single one. And it was so well thought out. Even though I liked his other mixtapes, this one just seemed like he really sat down and wanted to show. I think he's tired of hearing all this stuff about where's your album, you know, why did Kanye sign you, all this shit. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna show you exactly why Kanye signed me.
Why he backed this mixtape, and why
Kanye backed his mixtape.
And you know what's interesting too? CyHi had an interview where he was saying that like when he first got signed to Good Music, because he was like the new kid on the block with all of these other people that were signed to it. He was saying, you know, before I could even get, you know, a Kanye to like executively producing and Kanye to kind of like want to work with me, he had to get his catalog.
Show and prove.
Exactly, and I think that's another reason why. Like I 100% agree with you, Mike and Rod. This right here should have been an album, but I think that because how we felt, right? Like, okay, what is CyHi gonna after this? I want to see what you're gonna do for the album. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he would have put this out for an album if it would have sold like that, because people were kind of on the fence with CyHi.
I think if he made this a for sale album, he would have done very well, because I can't see this getting bad pub.
Right.
I just can't. There's plenty of albums that I hear where I'm like, I love this, but I can see someone not loving it. I loved Isaiah Rashad's mixtape, but I can understand somebody else saying, I wasn't that into it, and I wouldn't argue it. I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. This, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, how can you listen to Mandela and then Napoleon and then say,
it's alright.
It's okay. Napoleon, I mean, fucking A, like the whole song.
I was like,
That's what I was gonna say. Napoleon.
Yeah, and I'm gone.
I remember pulling Nicks at night like Nickelodeon. Now I'm pulling chicks at night like Scorpion.
I'm pulling hoes like Scorpion, all the down her fallopian. I was pulling hoes like I never heard nobody say that. I never heard nobody say I'm pulling hoes like Scorpion, nigga. Get over here. Get over here.
If you don't play Mortal Kombat, you do not know that at all.
And if you do play Mortal Kombat, you're like, oh shit!
He got so many lines, man. I'm
He
like,
does
wow.
that shit about the priest and a preach and your sweetest knees.
But that's the
giving
thing
a
about
speech.
CyHi.
Like Jesus.
He's always done that, but it's just over this production and the execution of
And
this
that's why
thing,
he been
it
so
really
hit or miss
stood
with
out
me.
this time.
That's why he been so hit or miss with me, man. I'm like,
If you are on the fence about CyHi, don't be on the fence no more. Download this tape, listen to it. It's dope as fuck. It definitely bumps in the whip. Like Barry White bumps hard. I want to say 316 bumps hard as fuck. Basquiat, the first three that we talked, like the whole fucking tape. Sadell Young, the whole shit. Shout out to all of the producers that was on here, especially M16. Go download this shit right here.
If CyHi stays on this path with this type of thought behind his albums and the music that he creates, something that sounds as polished and complete as this is the first project from CyHi that I've heard that sounds really complete and well thought out and very, very thorough. If he can stay on this track, he's ready, man, and I think he's ready to be adopted by the rest of people that follow good music. He already has his fan base intact, but this right here is an astounding project. It's very well put together. The concept you got when you saw it, but it wasn't anything that was corny. You know, it was well executed, and you know, it was his reintroduction or an introduction to, you know, people that's in hip hop, because Kanye executive produced it, so it's gonna pull a lot of people in to listen to it. So it had to be thorough, it had to be tight. So very well done by CyHi. This will be the first project I tell anyone to listen to if they ask me about a side project and what do they need to listen to. This would be the one that I recommend.
Like Ken said, I'm glad he didn't like try to force the Black History Project and make it seem all corny. It just, if everything flowed well, everything was great. Like I said, besides the last like 3 tracks, I mean this mixtape is great to me. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Loved everything, all the lines CyHi was saying. My standout track was Sato Young. That's my standout joint right there. And then, bam, that's it right. They could have finished just like that. But overall, I love this project, man. It was a very good mixtape. Go download it, support him. I'm ready to see what CyHi is gonna do next now with his first. Hopefully, he'll drop a first official, album under Good Music, because he's just been, just hanging, like you said, just hanging on the threads. Just another artist on there, not even making nothing but just mixtape. So make that album and make it dope. I got faith in you, brother. So I got faith in you. You know what I mean? I got faith in him. Yeah, Black History. I got faith in you, brother. You can drop this dope solo album, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next. Great job on this Black History Project, man.
I think it's an amazing project. I can't really see too many people not getting behind this. God, I mean, and I gotta say, good job, Kanye, because I feel like he must have had some kind of positive input since he executively produced this. I don't know if it was his input that made this so cohesive, or if it's just CyHi finally came into his own. I don't know, but you have a rapper that is super lyrical and that can write songs, and those are things that you don't really get too often. You really don't. And he's not just dropping basic punchlines. He's dropping punchlines that are complex, but they also bring together his concepts, and that's really, really important. It's not just like he's throwing shit out there just to throw shit out there. They make sense in the scheme of his entire album, and I just think that that's incredible. I think with the type of rapping we heard on this, the type of rapping we've heard over his past couple of projects, I think we can rest assured that he's going to put together something that's really solid, really solid, But kudos to him in doing a concept and pulling it together to where you listen to it and you almost don't even realize it's a concept anymore. It's just a well thought out, well executed, well played album. So I am extremely excited about hearing this dude's album, and since you are in Atlanta, CyHi, if you see this, we would love to have you come on here and chat, man, for real, because it's not too many no shots at anybody. There's not too many Atlanta artists right now that are getting me this excited.
And he mentioned
this excited. So if you see this, we'd love to come chat with you, man. We'll keep Ken off your back talking shit about your beats. But yeah. If you guys like hip hop, please go download this project. I really don't feel like you'll be disappointed. I really don't.